So this is the Genmax 10500 XT open frame inverter generator. It's got features such as 10,500 starting watts on gas. It can run on propane and natural gas. Pull start, remote start, push button start, and tons of little features. Really excited about this generator. Been waiting for something like this for quite some time. Just to do more or less projects out in the woods remotely, just grinding, welding, whatever. But regular inverter generators are so expensive and heavy, and this thing is nice and simple. I mean, look, the battery's like right there. Amazing. I guess my main question is, can it run a welder? Particularly, can it run 6010 stick welding, which can be problematic with like the smaller setups like this. Upon arrival, we had a little issue with the no start situation. It was real sad. Tried for quite some time and eventually found that the plug wire had broken for shipping. So we just put some epoxy putty on there, like a JB Weld style thing, and that's it for now. And we're playing email tag with the company, but they're responsive. You can see it has like an automatic choke, but you can override it as well if that fails. On the back side here's your fuel shutoff for gas. Coming around to this side, this is your switcher for propane and natural gas. I'll probably never use natural gas, but all the stuff comes in the kit for the propane and obviously gas. It is pretty quiet for such a big generator. This is just a marketing thing, you know. This is actually a 7800 running watt generator, and you know that's what it is. So yeah, let's go through the plugs before we get the thing started. You got that screen there, which gives you volts, hertz, amps, watts, and hours. This is not like a fuel gauge, it's like a percentage of electricity being used, of like its max. Here's some breakers. You get 12 volt socket. This must be for the 20 amp there. Those do say 20 amps. And here's like a, oh yeah, it has two 240 plugs. This is obviously, wait, does it have two 240 plugs? Yeah, it does. There's two 240 plugs. This one, which is one of those NEMA 4-prong. I'm sure you can see it in there. Yeah, L14. And this guy, which I got this, ordered up this here dog bone adapter, and that's a, what one's that? 1450. That's a 50 amp plug. Not that this thing can do 50 amps. But, so that's neat. I actually didn't notice that there was two 240 plugs. And this must be to parallel the two generators together. The reset, low idle button. You know, obviously main switch, USB-C and A. Push button start. And this is another reason I got this to charge my cabin batteries. It has a 2-wire, even though there's 4 prongs in there. And it comes with this adapter as well, by the way. A 2-wire start, so if you're using a chargeverter, you should be able to program it, plug it in, plug this into something solar related. Hey buddy. And Hit that on. It apparently goes to sleep. I have not tried any of this. And will wait for voltage to drop on your batteries and kick on when it reaches that number, and then shut off when it reaches your max voltage. The simplest thing I've seen out there yet to just have a generator start a DIY solar system. Want to do a few tests here. Let's do like a noise level test, maybe even versus a Honda 2200, and I'd like to do like kind of a hodgepodge distance test on that remote, and of course some welding tests. So let's try out this remote. It should be ready to start. I got the fuel on in the back there, and oops. You just make sure your main switch is on, which it seems to sleep with the main switch on. You would just push the button to start it, but we're going to do the remote at 0 feet. Fun little thing I just discovered, if your auto gen is on, you get nothing. But turn your auto gen off. Okay, that's 0 feet. That's low idle on. That's how I would like to run it if I ever needed a remote start this. So let's move it back. Okay, 50 feet. $100 feet. Okay, so we are out of line of sight. We're actually over a ridge, about 150 feet away, maybe a bit more. I mean, this is all I could ever ask for. Nice! So, you know, I would imagine inside a building would work at least up to 150 feet. Ooh. Reaching the limits. Okay, that was because of the tree, but you get my point. Definitely not line of sight, but pretty good. Okay, this is a decibel test. It's in low idle, about 30 feet, 35 feet. It is substantially more quiet than a regular open frame generator, but it definitely isn't the Honda. Okay, about the same distance, but on high idle. And not much more. 68. So we got a newer suitcase Honda 2200. Okay, so we got low idle with the Honda. About the same distance. Wow. So yeah, noticeably quieter. You know, obviously the different animals. We're talking whatever running watts this 2200 is. I think it's like 1800 maybe. 15 amp outlet, so you know, obviously different beast, but there's no doubt that it's way quieter. But it can't weld. Or yeah, I've hooked up like a titanium 125 flux core to this, and it just sadly could not do it. Which is asking a lot for it, of course. It welded nice and smooth, and you know, I'm not the best welder, but we're putting together this processor which really can draw some amperage, and you know, these are looking pretty good, and they're nice and sturdy, and I'm very happy that, you know, I'm out here in the woods just like fixing stuff with this guy who's a little bit quieter than your average open frame generator, or heck, even like a welder generator from, say, Miller. This is probably, well, as quiet as their best welder. So this is a nice little setup here with a 200 amp stick welder, and this guy, and we could take it up to 90 amps, and I felt pretty good about it. It surges, but it seems to consistently give similar performance at the arc, which is like the most important part. So yeah, the math is saying while welding, the welding machine be running at 26, 25 volts, bringing it into the low 2,000 watt range. So that should run it. But I've never actually had much luck welding off of any generator, really, unless it's huge. You know, of this size or bigger. Reason being is if you stick the rod, or pretty much during startup, when you're striking the arc, you're going to get bigger surges, and you really should go for as big a machine you can when welding, and I'm happy to report this thing's doing the job.